Hey guys, so in this video, what I'll be doing is talking about the differences between AI domain systems and AI specialists. And this is a pretty interesting concept that I had almost like accidentally stumbled upon just because like after going through many of my different AI agent builds, I'd started to kind of find a pattern where there seemed to be a difference in just the type of agents that were really available and the different types of agents that you could build, where you had agents that were more so focused around pulling insights, and then you had agents that could actually do stuff. And I think a big thing, right, is as we go forward, we don't want to just build like simple chatbots, right? Like we want to really figure out how exactly we can build almost like autonomous employees, and that's really like the goal overall as I build these different agentic systems, right, is to figure out how exactly can we automate key processes that were once reserved for humans. And the goal isn't to like replace humans or anything like that, but more so to augment humans, right? To bring humans up so that as people we can focus on more of like those higher leveraged tasks. So in this video, I'll really be kind of showing you how exactly you can upgrade your AI agent system, right? In terms of making it just more of like a actual autonomous employee. So, when you start off, right, for many different like systems, you many times will start off with a kind of either like a RAG agent or some kind of like structured query language where you have some form of data, whether it's a SQL database, right? You're using NoCodeDB, or even if you're using like a Supabase, right? Or you'll be leveraging some form of like a vector database. And from here, what you're doing is you're really just taking like your database, right? That's passive, just collecting information just based on whatever actions are happening, right? And you're basically bolting AI on top of it, and you're allowing AI to perform its intelligence and its analysis on that. And it works great, right? It's a very effective system for being able to perform just very fast retrieval and search through information, right? Without you having to manually go through and search through information. It's just the only issue is that it's query driven. So at the end of the day, it starts really only when someone actually goes and enters in a prompt, right? You have to actually trigger it manually. And if you don't go in and enter the prompt, then nothing happens, right? The system stays passive. With that, obviously, that brings in a key issue of like, well, how do we create a system that doesn't rely on human inputs and can just operate autonomously? And that's also one of the key things for how we get to AGI as well, right? Like, how do we build systems that can operate autonomously without just human inputs? And the key thing about AI specialists is that these agents, instead of being query driven, right, and reliant upon just human inputs, they're more so driven by actual business events, right? And that's the key thing right there. So they're driven by events. So they're driven by events that happen in the real world. And based on those events, they're able to execute in real time, right? And perform the task autonomously, almost like what a real human would do. So it means that as humans, we don't have to be involved in the process at all. The only thing that really has to happen is that whenever a certain event happens within the business, right, a trigger fires, and based on that trigger, the agent pretty much wakes up and it completes that task, and then it just goes back to sleep and waits for the next event. What we'll see is that with AI specialists, instead of them working off a some kind of like chat query, they operate on like a webhook trigger, right? Or they operate on like some kind of like scheduled timed event. And there's multiple different triggers, but these are just kind of more of the more common ways, right? And ultimately, as you can see, these are still agents, right? They're still agents where, at the end of the day, we're still leveraging AI on top of pre-established databases. So as you can see, for this recruiting AI specialist, we have this agent right here that's connected to two different types of vector databases with Quadrant, right? And we're using the Anthropic chat model. And ultimately, it's bigger than just a simple querying agent because what this agent is doing is it's not just like retrieving answers through the vector database. It's also going through and it's pulling information from the CRM, right? It's pulling information from another database that's set up inside of Airtable. It's going through and it's also formatting and it's delivering results back into the CRM, right? And that's kind of like the key thing here. So it's operating in many different areas of the business, which as humans, there are many different like platforms which we use, right? I'm sure, you have like multiple different tabs that are open, and in each of those tabs, they're all like just different places where you operate and you have to basically manage for your business. This AI agent is operating on all of those tabs as well, just moving so more autonomously. And then even for this AI agent right here, with this agent, this is a TikTok content AI specialist. This agent is able to go through and is able to generate unique content ideas, and not just ideas, but also go through and generate full-fledged videos, right? And format everything and also post it directly into YouTube. So this basically handles the entire process that a media production team would handle in terms of generating the idea, right? Scripting it out, going through and creating the actual videos. As you can see, everything is all happening just from a scheduled trigger, right? There's no manual event of like a human starting this process, and that's what makes things very cool upon just this AI specialist system. So as we go forward, right, and for anyone that's looking to interact more with AI agents or just like AI systems in general, a big thing is looking at more broader ways than just trying to build like a simple chatbot, right? I think really it's important to really figure out how exactly can we build genuine agentic systems, right? Like I think a big thing is really looking at what processes do you do today, right? That are very manual, take up a lot of time, right? And there are artifacts, right? Such as like a transcript or just text artifacts that can be used, and if fed into AI, AI could handle that entire process, right? I think that's kind of like just the future of how exactly we should look to leverage AI instead of just looking for ways which we could build chatbots, right? We look for ways in which we can build genuine autonomous AI specialists.